What's going on, Colts Nation? I appreciate you joining me for another video where in this one I'm going to talk a little bit about the defense, right? We've talked about picking up different people and what we might be able to do to, especially, once the Hunter Wohler injury happened, trying to find a better replacement for somebody that can be that 6 DB in the lineup in some of these packages, right? Who could that guy be? And we've kind of gone over some different options. And obviously, when you look at the roster, I think the one spot you really look at where there's a glaring need is backup safety. Well, I thought that person was going to end up being potentially Kyle Duggar. It sounded like he was going to get released from the Patriots. That ends up not happening. He actually ends up taking a roster spot there. Well, you end up with somebody else that ends up getting dropped from the Patriots. Just happenstance. Ends up being Jabril Peppers, right? Former Michigan Wolverine. And this is somebody, a former first-round pick. He was drafted to Cleveland, ended up in New York with the Giants, and then spent some time with the Patriots. And over his career, he's had a couple of years where he only played 6 games. Coincidentally, his last year with the Giants, he only played 6 games. His last year with the Patriots, he only played 6 games. But this is a guy who finds himself around the ball a lot, especially for that safety position, right? You look at second, third, and fourth year in the league, he has 79, 76, and 91 tackles, right? He goes to the Patriots, he has 60 tackles, and then he has 78 tackles. Now, he only has a couple of seasons, looks like 2 seasons where he played the entire season, back when there was only 16 games in 2018 when he was with the Browns. And then in 2022, he played all 17 games. Now, he does have, 13, 11, 15, 15, right? And then the couple of years where he had 6 games played. So he does have some time where a couple seasons where he hasn't played many games, couple seasons where he's played all the games, and some seasons in between. And I think kind of what you can get from him, right? If you can have him more in a limited role, then he's a guy that you can expect to play all 17 games, right? But he's also a guy that can come in and be really effective for you in exactly what you need from him, right? So we need somebody that can play a little bit of that tweener role, and he's got the athleticism and the body type and the play style to almost be perfect. Now, in pass coverage, you're right. Are you going to get the consistency that you want there? Would you rather go with a guy like Joe Bacci? Would you rather go with a guy like Jonathan Edwards or maybe Mekhi Blackman, who they traded for, right? Who are they going to fit in as that 6 DB? I'll be interested to see what they decide to do. But as I sit here and look at the landscape of how things are, obviously with the way things look right now, I wouldn't expect him to come in, hey, let's sign him tomorrow morning and he's playing on Sunday. That's not going to happen. Now, I do think there's a possibility, as big and as physical as Jalen Jones can be, maybe he's the guy that they pick to insert into that spot. Maybe that's why Xavier Howard is a starter, and then you can have Jalen Jones moving around the defense, plugging him into those places that you need, and then he's also a depth piece on the defense. Like, very interested to see what do the Colts decide to do, right? But looking here at Jabril Peppers, looking further into the numbers, again, this is somebody who came into the league in 2017. He has seasons with 79, 76, 91, 60, and 78 tackles, right? When he plays the full season, he's going to be around the ball, right? So then you look further. The most sacks he ever had in a season was in 2020. He had 2.5 sacks. But through his career, he has 5.5 sacks. So able to do that, but never really been what he's been asked to do. Now, in Lou Anarumo's scheme, that extra DB is going to be asked to do that at different times to try to go for the blitz. So you're trying to get tackles for loss. You're trying to get sacks from that spot, right? Kenny Moore, probably going to see him blitz at a decent bit, right? And the way the secondary is going to work out, we're going to see these different guys have to go for the quarterback at different times, right? Through his career, through Jabril Peppers' career, he has 6 forced fumbles, 5 fumble recoveries. He has also 7 interceptions in his career, only 2 interceptions one time in his career, but he does get passes defended. He has 35 passes defended in his career, 32 stuffs. So overall, right, he does a little bit of everything. It's not like he's going to come in and be somebody who's elite at anything, but he does a lot of things well. He's good at a lot of different things, and I think he's somebody that if you needed to plug him in at safety, he's somebody that could be a serviceable backup. But I do think that there's a way for him to be effective in this Lou Anarumo defense for kind of what Hunter Wohler was going to be asked to do. I think it'd be nice for Jabril Peppers to come in and take over that role. Again, somebody who can be a really physical football player. And I think that's what you need on the defense, somebody that can be physical, somebody that can tackle, that you can trust. Most of the time when he gets his hands on somebody, he's going to find a way to bring him down, right? And I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say that I've watched Jabril Peppers, film before I did this video. But I am somebody who, as somebody who is a Michigan fan, in his early years in the NFL, I paid attention to him. Of course, at Michigan, paid attention to him. Again, this is a physical football player, and I think that's what this defense has lacked over the years. This is the best tackling defense in the league. Right? That's been one of our major issues over the past couple of years. I think a part of that is because of the defensive coordinator. I think a part of that is because of the position that our defense was put into. But I do think personnel does have something to do with that. And I think Jabril Peppers, bringing him in, having that physical presence, would actually help the defense in different ways. I think, again, it'd be solid depth to have. So as I'm sitting here looking at things, this is just something that I strolled upon, something that I was thinking of, and figured, hey, let me talk about it with you guys. Let me see what you guys are thinking of it. So whatever your thoughts are on this, you let me know down in the comment section. I know some of you have been in the comment section talking about, man, that backup safety, we got to get that figured out. So you guys let me know what you think. At this point in Jabril Peppers' career, I think a backup role, part-time on the field role, is honestly probably what he's best suited for, but we'll see what happens. He might be holding out, waiting to see if he's going to get an opportunity to be a starter somewhere. I could see that being the case, but I think he would be serviceable for what we need. And I'd like to know what you guys think about bringing in Jabril Peppers, who would likely be a pretty cheap option in my opinion. You guys let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Love hearing from you guys. And, of course, if you enjoy the content, make sure to hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on so you continue to get notified anytime we drop any content on this channel. Of course, I appreciate you stopping by for another video. And, as always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and go Colts.